Welcome to this brand new series that I'm starting, No Money Spent, as we play the first Descendant. This is going to be very interesting for me. I have a lot of information to give you guys. I've already played probably close to 100 hours, and the game just came out, but I want to talk about my experience from the free to play side, give perspective on the temptations and how this game is designed, and then talk about so many different things, like comparing them to things like Warframe, who has similar systems. We're trying to dive deep, and I want everyone who's listening to also join me in the comments, sharing your experience, maybe some questions that I can answer for another episode. This is going to be a special episode within the channel where I just dive down the rabbit hole. I'm going to be showing random clips of me playing right at the very first start of the game. When I unlocked Bunny, I came to do this farm, and we'll get into all that in a second. But I just feel it's important to kind of talk about the free to play side of this game and see how it goes as time passes. Because in the long run, it's early on, you're in the honeymoon phase, but we'll see. But with that out of the way, when this comes out, will have giveaways for two games that haven't come out yet. I'm going to be giving out copies to multiple people. So the more you share this and the more people we get to like the videos, the more giveaways I'll do of different games. Right now, we're doing Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and Assassin's Creed Shadows. So feel free to hit the comments and make sure you like and share. That way we can continue to build this community and give away more. Okay, with that out of the way, it's gonna just be raw conversation and discussion. I want to start off by saying I'm an experienced gamer. I'm not a young kid. I'm an older man who been playing since before Nintendo even came out, and that was a very long time ago. And so I love gaming, and I do it for a living. Basically, it's my whole life, and I enjoy that. And I have played Warframe and other games that have similar models, but I can say right off rip that this game has some unique elements, and they have a really cool core, which is super interesting, but also can probably end up hurting me later on. And that is, for example, a big part of these games, these looter shooters, is replaying the same missions over and over. And can it be fun? It can if you're helping your friend out, which I help out my buddy Cloudy. He's like a brother slash son. I love him to death. And then there are times I go in with randoms or some people from my stream, which makes it very cool. In this game, your main thing is you're locked from other characters, you're locked from weapons, and so on. And you can get them in the game, but you have to really grind materials. It's not just like, oh, go to this mission and get the gun. You have to go through the process, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I wanted to start off by saying that the way this one's set up, a lot of games do that as well. But from so far, from the release, everything isn't gonna be pay to play. You can unlock it in the game. It might take a little bit of time, but the best feature that they have when it comes to that system is that you're capable of actually looking up where to find it. And then they also tell you the drop rate. It's 100% drop rate for some, 50% for others, 20%, and so depending on what material it is you need for a specific weapon or character, you got to grind. And there's no problem with that. I actually am okay with that, in my opinion, as long as everything's good. But I think before I get started, the first topic I want to kind of talk about, the perspective that I have, is that there's a FOMO, feeling of missing out thing with anything. So like sometimes you'll go to the movie because your best friend told you, you should watch it, you should watch it. And maybe you didn't want to watch that movie, but they made you interested. And I think that when it comes to these free to play games that have this content, that somebody comes out everybody's wearing the same outfits. Nobody has any good skins. Everybody looks the same. So it's like, oh, I really would like to put on something. And so is that an exploit from the studios? I don't know the answer because it depends on the scenario. It's very case by case, in my opinion. I'm open minded to understand that if they made a free to play game, how would they make money if they didn't have something in there? But I'm also not the type to want to feel, which I have playing this game and Warframe and every other game, where I'm seeing somebody get something that I've been working for 2-3 days of playing for 8 hours. Remember, I'm on stream playing, and all that time took me, they just paid for the character or skin, and now I've been playing 100 hours with the same bunny skin. I actually got some items. We're going to talk about that, but imagine if I didn't, and it was just pure like, hey, you're going to stay with this. And a lot of games do that. NBA 2K, when you first play, they give you a brown shirt. It's like a meme for the community. If you have a brown shirt, you're suck, you're a rookie, you're broke. It's like a actual cultural thing in that game. And so people will go spend real life money so that they can buy some in-game clothes. And this game has the skins, which is the same concept, but they did reward me with some things. So this is kind of where I wanted to start the story, to kind of take us on a journey of how I'm feeling about being free to play, aka no money spent, versus what I'm getting. I heard it was free to play. I heard that you don't have to pay for anything for content. It's gonna be there. And so far, I can tell you I beat the game. I'm on hard mode beating that right now as we speak. And it's been a fun, easy time knowing that I had to grind, right? I already knew, I said, there's always going to be a grind for these kind of games. They can't just give away years of content that they took just to make this game. So that's where my mindset went to. And so I look at it from a different lens than most people, because I understand a studio was shut down. They spent 7 years making a game, and then they say, hey, it's free to play. You don't got to pay us nothing. See you later. Have a good day. What do you think is going to happen? All those people will lose their jobs, maybe lose their house, their marriage. Everything can go down the drain. They have children. And so that is where we'll kind of open our minds and say, all right, what is fair for them to get paid and not? And so we'll get into it. And before we do get into my experience, I did want to mention also, and I don't mean no disrespect to anybody that's listening, because probably my friends, my viewers, my family just listening, family member who loves to buy skins. He's like, that's one of my favorite things. And that's okay. But what I realize also when you're doing a no money spent is that you feel what other people feel, right? Because now I know, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not gonna spend no matter what. So it's a resistance. Oh, the battle pass, it's only $10. Can get some good stuff in there. I need that stuff. Oh man, I want an outfit. I don't want to be looking the same like everybody else when I play. I want to change it up. And so those feelings happen. And the first one for me was when I seen the panda book bag, I said, I gotta have that. And I didn't have it at first. There was a glitch going on. And I'm like, oh man, how much does it cost? Can I buy that? And so that was the first time I felt it. And I'm probably going to keep feeling it throughout this series. And so I wanted to start off with that. I don't want to make this series small and actually a short series. So if you guys are willing to stick around, we'll have a good time and just discuss this. This is some deeper thought stuff that I want to kind of provoke and have a discussion about as we go. All right, so this farm is kind of boring, but this is how you level up your character, your mastery, and your weapons. And I got guides, so y'all can watch all that. This ain't a guide today. We relaxing. We're gonna really get into it. So first things first, a free-to-play game. We're gonna go in from the loading screen from the very start and just showcase what it is. You get to pick one character right from the very start, which I think is awesome. And I can't showcase them here, but It's either Ajax, and I'll showcase it in a second, but I have 4 and they're all maxed out. I actually maxed out Valby twice already, 3 times. So she's actually leveled up a little bit extra, let's just say. But we're going to start off with the character that I first started with, and we're going to go with Ajax. And I actually loved him, and I picked him specifically because he's a tank. He has shields and bubbles to protect himself and his teammates. So I felt like this was necessary to have for my teammates. So I sacrificed. I wanted to pick somebody else, to be honest. We're going to go through some of these descendants and discuss it very quickly. But one thing I can say right off rip, and I'm not doing a review here, I have that on the channel, but this is just a breakdown. Like, some games just have these abilities and that's it. And you play a whole game. You pay $70 for one character and they have a couple abilities and that's it. In this game, it really went all out with a lot of characters. And you got Bunny here. You unlock her through the story. Valvy, you had to work for her. That was the hardest one that I had to unlock. Freyna was actually pretty casual. It's kind of like story based, more or less. So I actually didn't even care to get her right away, but I love her too. She's a DPS monster, which I have a build for her. But that's the 4 that I have, and they all have their unique play styles and abilities, which I love. And then we go down the list of so much more, right? You're going to start off with 3. Call him Lupe, but that's a different story. And then you have V. I call her V. And of course, Ajax. And I'm going to stick with Ajax for the moment to kind of discuss Ajax and discuss what I experienced in this game and so on. As I said, you're going to have the same character, the same outfits for everybody. You walk around, everybody's walking around with an Ajax character. You see, look. And so these are all free to play people, aka no money spent. Where the gang at? I need y'all to put that in the chat. That's going to be the new wave. But this game is so big. It has so much. And I can say there's been $70 games that didn't have as much as this game does. And I hate to say that. I don't mean no disrespect to all you developers that I know. But unfortunately, yeah. And it's given me its money's worth already. I've already had a good time with it. I paid for games that I got less from. So just know that. I can put it down and say that was satisfying. But I want to keep playing. But I want to get into the main thing that we were talking about earlier, which is so critical. This access info is probably the most impressive thing outside of another feature that I'll talk about later. This is the most impressive thing that I've seen in my life when it comes to this kind of game, because the target loot is so important. I always complain that I want to be able to target something. You guys should show me where it is. I need this material. Let's say, where do I get this? And now I can go here and find it in all the worlds, every map that there is in this game. It's like 10 maps. I can just select what to do. Some of it is just in the open world. It's a reactor, for example. Some of it is a mission. Another one is just a boss or just a monster, they call it. And you could go fight. And then if you find that monster, you kill them, you might get the drop. And then there's percentages for all of these things on how, you know, much you can get out of it and what you get out of it. And you can see right here, everything is targeted loot. And I know that other games have these features, but I love the fact that this game doesn't make you feel more handicapped. Because if it didn't have this, I probably would have gave up on it. I probably would have said, you know what? Nah, man, this is not Elden Ring. We don't need this. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut it out. But they actually gave it to us, and this has made my experience as somebody who's a grinder and loves it. So far, I got 4, but I'm getting Sharon, Glay right away, like very soon. I'm actually getting Ultimate Glay, Sharon, Enzo. So those are the next targeted characters, most likely for me. And it's specifically because they have certain play styles. And then weapons. I have a decent amount here. I haven't tried to get these. this is just playing through the story, honestly. And I haven't targeted all of these. Only thing I did target was some of the descendants, specifically Valby. Other than that, everything else just happened organically. And so, of course, the next episode we'll talk about all of these details about who else I unlocked. So far, only 4. And it might slow down. I might only get 2 next time. And then we'll continue as we go and see what this game is offering. And so these are the 2 main things that are the most important things to grind for. And you got to get the materials. Now I need some of these. I can go in here. I can literally just click on a map. Let's just go to this one. It'll tell me to go here. So I'm going to fast travel. And that is a cool feature, if I ever seen one, to allow you to just target the loot, go get it, and be on your way. And so I want to start off by talking about no money spent. They're at least saying, yeah, go for it. If you can, if you're willing to grind, go for it. Okay. And so to me, that made me more relieved as far as like, and by the way, I'm a content creator, right? I could just tell my chat, hey man, let's get this thing. I want to get this ultimate and all this stuff. So there's some enemies here. Probably a bad area to come to, guys. This is live recording, by the way. But the end of the day, it was a powerful tool, probably the best tool. There's a secondary tool that I also love that's amazing as well. And there's plenty of cool stuff in this game, by the way. But I absolutely, they got some really good options overall. But I'm going to take you guys to my favorite. This is just me roaming. I have it on public, but I can make it private so I can play by myself, single player, just right up here. And I can change the difficulty into hard mode if I wanted to as well, which changes everything. And I am going to go on hard mode, as a matter of fact, specifically to show you guys something while we are here. So this is a very popular area. I'm assuming I'm going to run into people so I can show you guys the key feature that also is amazing. And this has nothing to do with the free-to-play portion or anything like that. But see how all these other players are here? Now, if I went to this mission that's right ahead of me and I activated it and they end up coming over, they will end up joining me. So for example, right now it's going to say start the mission. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to allow whoever, one of those guys, end up starting it, and then I can join them. And it's not just matchmaking. It's literally just walking in and shooting an enemy that they're shooting, and it basically allows me to join them. And so this is a feature, just a quality of life feature that makes it very fun, interesting, and awesome, in my opinion. But once they activate it, you're going to see they started it up, and now they're going to head over there. I am not going to join, which I can do right here, and it'll teleport me to where they are. But I'm just going to walk over there and shoot an enemy to basically get in on this action. So then casually I've joined. Now you can see the right side, it made me join them. This is my favorite, just general feature outside of the finding the loot, which is very cool. But yeah, you can see pretty awesome feature. And I literally just did this live. I was hoping people were here, because if they weren't, I would have looked bad. But that's a very cool feature, in my opinion. And I'm backing out of that. And so we want to talk about these type of things that make the game worth it. And this is what I'm trying to point out. My time and my energy is worth more than any video game in the world. Okay? I don't care how much they spent on making it. $1 billion. My life is worth more. So if I give a game a time, it has to be worth it. And so understanding this system here, this system here, being able to locate anything, tells me they care about me and it's not about them, and so on. And I do want to kind of take a quick look at the shop, and this is a different topic, but it's ties together where you can purchase the package of all of them. And I've actually not looked through this, so this is like my first official time. I'm literally like boycotting purchasing. And as you can see right here, you can buy certain characters, and it's pretty dope. Wait a minute. Descendant ticket package? What is this? Let's look at this. It says Descendant ticket package A can be purchased once per customer. Includes the Descendants. Really? For 400? You can unlock all these? How much is that? Wait a minute. I don't even understand if that's what they're saying. Oh, this is just a boost? I'm confused because this can't be the characters. I think they purchased. This is my first time looking at all this. It looks like boost. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. But the battle pass is literally 10 bucks for this, but it's a little tricky, and this is where that whole argument and conversation goes. Do I have enough $10 so I can buy that? Guess what? This costs more than what you think. All right, because it says 500, so it's 10 bucks, but I want that premium. I want those goods extra, right? So now I'm missing out. What am I getting? I'm getting free stuff, as you can see. I've gotten pretty far. 48, that's a lot. But look at this information. What are we getting? Okay, so those are the things I've actually thought about it. I said, wow, like, what is in here? And I looked through it. Said caliber. There's enough for me to buy the battle pass again. So the math is, it costs 500 to get the pass, and they're gonna give me like 350 or something. And so I would have to buy a quick small amount, for example, which would be like this $5 one, and then I could have the battle pass again. So I would have to consistently pay $5 a month just to have the pass if I buy it once the first time, because they're going to give me all the tokens. So that's just an example of like their maneuvering, and they're offering a lot of stuff in here for people who are into all the skins. For example, the skin don't make you shoot better, right? Like, it's not going to do anything. The coins, all these cool emotes, things like that, different colors. Now, as I said, we're going to get into my customizations and discuss how I was feeling. I started playing Bunny right away. I had Ajax. I loved him. Don't get it twisted. He's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely adore him. But Bunny was just too good of a character. She was powerful. And I got lucky and got some Twitch drops plus some beta rewards. And they gave me a different face. So instead of having the typical Bunny setup, which I'm going to unequip right now, like everybody has, I put that on, which is awesome. And also Pizza. I love Pizza, so that was a perfect fit. And I don't know why, but I guess I love polar bears, even though they'll eat us alive if you let them. But this one's a cutie, a Coca-Cola reference. And so as you can see, skins, I got a bunch of weapon skins, so that is nice. And then they gave this for the beta setup as well. And I'm not going to go through all of this stuff, but the point is you're getting a little bit, very minor. And I promise you there's millions of things that people are in the store buying. I haven't looked through it, so I actually don't even know. And so, for example, my first ultimate character is most likely going to be Glay. She's just so powerful. And so I want to get hers. $3,000. Well, whatever. Caliber it's called. So how much will that cost me? So it's going to be it's going to be a full game to get that one character. We're going to see how long it takes me to get her. I am going to work on that. And that's going to be for next week, hopefully. The next time I post for this content. But as an example, and then for the bundles, 5,000. So you think about it, $70, that's a full game. You could have bought Elden Ring, you know? So just an example. And then they have these, which I actually never looked through. Wait a minute. She looks like, What's the name of that famous actress from Resident Evil? Looks like her. This girl looks like the girl from Kill Bill. Oh man, this is what I want. I seen this and I said, oh my God, I didn't see it here. I think somebody wearing it in game. And I'm like, there's no way. Where do you get that? Couldn't talk to them, but this is what I want. This is the best, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm absolutely excited about this journey that we're going to do. And I hope that other people also get involved with this conversation. And I'm just checking stuff out. Like I said, $5. You pay $5 for a couple of coins and you can buy a skin. And so I promise you they're making millions of dollars, maybe billions. This game will make billions because I enjoy it. And the fact that I enjoy it means that those people who like paying for this stuff will pay. For example, these, I want all these. All of the shards, because that's how you max out your player, guys. This is the grind right here. And so I'm not going to pay for it, but there we go. So this temptation is here at all times, 24/7. Can't customize your character too much. I'm waiting to get a different outfit. I haven't tried to look for one. I don't even know if there is one that I can get in game somewhere. Never actually tried to look that up to see if they have them in game. I don't think they do, but anyways, so you got that, and we're going to get into some of the character things and discuss a little bit of my gameplay because it ties into the topic of all of the paying here. So I got to 80. This is very high. First of all, they gave me that through the story. So I played Bunny and I used her for a good portion of the game. And I went in here, I maxed her out, which it cost me the most important resource, which is hard to grind. Not hard, but it takes a little while. And so I boosted that without knowing what I was doing. And then there's these, which you can boost as well, but you have to use the crystals. I'm not using this today. But the point is you got to grind heavy to get these. And this is the only way for you to progress. And I'm sure people can just buy them and do what they want to do. So it does make you feel, knowing that, it's like knowledge can ruin you. So knowledge will change the way you think. So that's kind of how I see it. And I feel like people feel the same way. And for somebody like me who's aware of that and says, no, I'm not going to let myself get controlled, manipulated, or any of that stuff. And so it's interesting, and we're going to cut through all the characters. Right now, I really want to play a couple of characters, all right? I want to play Gley because she's a DPS monster, and I'm very excited to see how she can go. And wait, what's... My controller's acting crazy. And then I got... Why is this controller doing this? Well... This game wants me to go face to face. We're gonna switch controllers here. So I'm gonna get Gley. I'm gonna get Sharon because she's a stealth type of player, but she can be aggressive. Kyle, amazing, powerful. Enzo, strictly to hack these crates. That's another thing. That's a very weird storyline there that they got, where they're making characters have specific skills that you need to do certain quests. So it's like, you gotta go get that guy. And so some people will pay. Then these ultimate characters, they only put out a couple this time, and then they're gonna put out more later and make people pay for them too because they're excited. And nobody's making you do anything, by the way. You choose. As you can see, I'm choosing not to, and we're gonna see how it goes. It's kind of weird being a content creator and having a creator code and then telling people that, you know, to do a no money spent run to see how the game feels. But that's where I'm at with it, and I'm good with that. But I wanted to kind of point out, you know, the characters you feel like you're missing out. The point is there's a longing to want to play these other characters, and then I got to go through the grind. If you want to see what it's like to unlock all this stuff, I played probably like 100 hours, I don't know, but look at all the materials I got for here, but I'm missing this and this. And this is a small, like probably like a 20% chance for it to drop. I've heard people play over 20 times and still not be able to unlock certain things. So it's a grind and you got to really figure it out. I'm almost there with her. We'll see how long this takes. I'm going to be streaming and making some footage, but that'll probably be my next episode, all about getting one ultimate character. Hopefully I love her. I've researched her enough to say, yeah, she's powerful. And so that's going to be its own episode when we dive deeper into this. But that is kind of the general conversation starter that I wanted to discuss a little bit about, because I love the game. I've been having fun, and the truth is like I'm into this game like I am with Destiny or the Division. I've kind of fell in love with it with Valve right here, beating Pyromaniac with her, using only my skills mostly, and it was hilarious. I'm like, yo, this guy's getting destroyed out here, and I'm just tanking him, not fully, but avoiding his hits a little bit, but also seeing how much I can survive. And it's made my confident level of like, yo, I can grind this game. I've made the right build. I know, you know, I've been enjoying it so far. Why not? And so we'll see how far that goes, because again, it'll start getting like, oh damn, I gotta unlock this character or do this. And first of all, you're welcome, if you've been watching this, to hang with me on my streams and play with me or give me tips and tricks. We got to learn this together. There's a lot of always things to do, farm and different methods and different builds, and I'm not stuck on one thing. I love having fun with it. So feel free to come by for that. Also, go check out the giveaway that's in my channel comments, as well as the creator code, so that you can give me a discount, get yourself a discount. I don't know the prizes yet. I barely promoted it, just sharing it on these videos only. Might put it up on social media though. And that's pretty much it for this episode. On the next one, again, I'm going to try to get the ultimate character. Feel like it's going to be feel like a job, and that might ruin the experience so far, because I've been enjoying the game itself. But who knows? Hopefully it's not too hard, and I got some of their stuff already, so we'll see how it goes. And then we'll discuss more about how I feel after the honeymoon phase, when the game just releases. Everybody's happy and excited, you know? So that's pretty much it. Check out that next video. Got some guides, tips, and tricks for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you there. Peace.